Alright, we should be live. What's going on? Tools and Tactics here. We're going to be talking about the electrical trade, the state of the electrical field, what electricians need to know. We're going to do a couple of practice test items. I got a couple of tools here to show you guys. And we're just going to wait for you guys to get in the chat, and then we'll take it from there. So while we are waiting for people to get here, this is what we're going to do. I purchased a practice test just for you guys. I already know this stuff, so this is all for you guys. And we're going to be going to test.com here. And you can see here, test.com right there. What's going on, buddy? What's up, Shrush? And we're going to log in here. And we're going to take a couple of questions here. Hopefully it remembers my password. Of course it doesn't. That's alright, because I actually remember this password. Can you hear me okay, Shrush? I do have the AC on in here. Let me know how the sound's coming through and whatever else. Alright, so we are going to go to the Journeyman Electrician Flashcards, the 2023 NEC here. Now, I've got a 20 here, but that's okay. First question, let's see here. The maximum unsupported unsecured length of type MC cable used to supply a luminaire and an accessible ceiling is permitted to be not more than blank in length. Flashcards for you to learn. Haha, what's up, buddy? I don't know if you guys can see that. That's the question there. Hang on a second. Okay, well, this is probably why you don't want to have a cracked screen on your phone. We just pushed a button, and we can still look it up, though. It's going to be the minimum length of a cord above the ceiling. We already purchased a new phone, so this is an S20 Plus. You can get them for $200 on Amazon. This is an S10 Plus. You can get this for $150 on Amazon. So we bought an S20 Plus. The screen should be better. We should get better resolution. I think it looks pretty good from here. And then the sound should be a little bit better. Let me know if you guys can hear the air conditioner down below. I'm going to show you this Olight that I bought. Olight and YouTube in general is kind of ruining it for me when I show you cool stuff, because it seems like all they want to do is sell you something, and I hate that. I'm not trying to sell you anything. This light's $150. You can hear it, but it's not bad at all. I don't know what that means. You can barely hear me, but it's not bad. Oh, the AC. Okay. Right out the gate, what did he say? Oh my goodness. Okay. So, yeah, that one's pretty bad. Thank you to the moderators, man. That's, oh my god. That's wild. That's wild. This is the Seeker 4. You guys have probably seen it from other channels. Probably came as more of a salesy approach. I'm going to turn off the AC. That's got to be better. I don't need the AC. We're good. As long as you guys can hear me. Yeah, this is my daily. Now, the reason why this is cool, this is the holster. And the holster has the mag charger just like the last one. And it drops in there like this. And dude, I've been rocking this thing for about 3 weeks now since I bought it. Every day. I took it on vacation when I went to all the cabins in Oklahoma. It keeps it really nice. I got the blue one because the black ones are too easy to lose. I've lost every black flashlight that I've ever owned. Minus this one that Joshua sent me. Almost lost it. There it is. This thing is only okay if you want to charge it like every day. Pretty bad. USB micro there. And Joshua sent me this one. I'm not complaining about it, but it's pretty terrible. And you can see the red light right there. Look, it wants to be charged already. Always wants to be charged. What's up, Morgan? So we picked up this Olight. I feel like Olight in general is just trying to sell you guys something every chance they get. And a lot of the recommendations and a lot of the affiliate links, YouTube is putting on our videos automatically. So a lot of your YouTubers aren't even actually putting the affiliate links themselves. I could care less if you guys buy this stuff. I just think it's cool. There's a lot of stuff I really recommend you buy, and I wouldn't mind getting paid off of it, but I'm not putting half of these links up. Not even a quarter of the links that are going up. Most people are posting. So this one's got 4,200 lumens, I believe. And you got to unlock it by rolling it like that. And it is bright. I mean, it is bright, 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 bright. Ridiculous, actually. You can see it on the ground in the sun on the concrete. So the holster is really cool. And I've just been popping it in my pocket like this. And it just sits there. But you can put it on your belt if you want to. I started off with it in my belt, but I realized that it's just as nice in your pocket because it can't go anywhere and it's kind of always there. And I've been carrying this like this for a long time now. And you just reach in there, you've got it, and they did a really good job on the fit where it just pops back in there and has a place to stay and kind of keeps it nice. You can also use it while it's in the holster, and then it charges off of USB-C right there. So I've really been enjoying this one. And then the only reason why I got rid of my Seeker 3, yeah, just disappointing. Do you get paid when we buy an affiliate link? Yes. Yes, the other day I made $40 because somebody bought, I think they bought the Ego string trimmer actually, because I was showing the line on this thing. Check this thing out, man. The Ego string trimmer is pretty cool. If you guys don't know, you can push this button right here and it uses the battery. And it pulls the line in. And I did that on purpose so I can show you guys what to do if you do pull the line in, because we're not out of luck here. If you see this button right here on the side, and you see this button here on the side on this one, you squeeze these like this, and it just pops out. And you can get your line back where you're not fighting this thing. Because that's probably the worst part about a string trimmer is, pulling the line in. And we can just pull the line completely out. And we can pop it back in. Like that. And then we just got to snake this through the hole. It's really twisty. Let's see if we can get it to the other side. We might have trouble with how stringy it is. Let's see. Will it go through? It's not going to like me tonight. You know how short it is? I'm just going to get a new piece of line to show you. We're going to get a new piece of line. When you get your new line, I don't recommend you trying to peel these stickers off. They're not fun. There's 4 stickers total. And it's not the hardest thing in the world. But you can already see how hard of a time I'm having. Just cut them off, man. Look how much they wrap. And then I still got to get 3 more. Ever since I started cutting these off, another good reason why you always have extra blades for your knife. Always, always. Are we in there? Come on, Milwaukee. There we go. Yeah, I've just been cutting these off, man. It's so much quicker. And then just popping it off like this. Now we can put that through. And then all you gotta do is just pull it to the center. And the center is right here. Right about there. And then all you have to do, once you get all this nice and straight, is just push this button and let it feed evenly. Like that. You go one more click. 2 more clicks. There we go. And we're ready to go. Nice. Love that thing. So somebody bought one of those the other day. Yeah, that's the Ego one. Somebody bought that the other day and it paid me $40, which was pretty cool. So I appreciate the affiliate links, but I didn't put it on there. It was a nice surprise. So that's pretty cool. But it just goes to show you how much they're probably overcharging for those things from Lowe's. I don't know. Let's see if we can load another question here. And then I'm going to talk about some stuff that I've been seeing at work in reference to the bonding screw. And even this strap right here, this is off of a Tesla gateway. And the Tesla gateway is basically like an automatic transfer switch. And when you have transfer switches, typically they're the main of the house, or they're the main of whatever it is, whatever building, whatever it is. It's usually the main service disconnect. And every once in a while you run into a situation where they're not the main. And then this thing gets very tricky on how you isolate the grounds and neutrals and everything. YouTube puts the affiliate links, not the content creators. Yeah, I don't see a link. It must be an Android thing. It's not going to be in tonight until after the video airs, and then it'll automatically go in probably. Shouldn't they ask content? Yeah, they do. They do. They say, would you like us to put affiliate links? At first, it was, hey, we're just going to automatically do it. And it's like a pilot program, and we want to use your channel to do it. And I was like, that's kind of cool. We'll see how it goes. But now it's like an automatic thing. Yeah, these are cool shirts, man. $20. They were 30. I bought two at $30 from Lowe's. And then when I went back yesterday to Lowe's, they were $20 each. Which reminds me, I picked up this blade from Lowe's. This is a new DeWalt blade. Something new they're starting. It looks a lot like a CMT. And I actually reached out to that Van battery guy. They make knockoff batteries. And I think we're gonna try it out, man. We're gonna try it on this. This right here uses the flex volt. And this right here, that right there uses the flex volt as well. So we're gonna try out the knockoff batteries for the 60 volt and see how they go. As a homeowner, I think you guys are gonna like the price of them. So if you've got like miscellaneous tools like I have, and it's not something you do every day, but you want to pick up a battery that has a little bit more power for a specific tool that you got, it might be a good idea. We're gonna find out. But that's the new DeWalt blades there. And this is the 7 1/4. It's got the 5/8 arbor. It's got the diamond that you can pop out in the middle. And right out of CMT's playbook, man, you've got the expansion for heat. Diablo does them with the little lines with the swirls, you know. So this looks pretty promising. It is the framing one. See here, the 845 for $95 too. Nice. The 840 for $69 exactly, dude. I got my 840 for $45. It was a display, and when the guy rang it up, he accidentally rang up the barcode from the display from like when the 840s first got to Lowe's, and he looked at me and I looked at him and I was like, I'll take it. And he was like, I don't know if I scanned the right barcode. And I was like, I don't know, man. I'll buy it right now, though, if you want to get rid of it. And he took it up to the front and they took it off for me. So I wound up getting my 840 for dirt cheap. But $70 for an 840 is a steal. Amazon don't have promos and hacks. Just got some new thick kerf Milwaukee blades to try out. Nice. You got your 870 today. It's nice and very quiet. I'm excited about that, dude. Is that a ripping blade or a combination? It's a framing, so it's you know who you can ask? You can ask the is it the Tool Addicted Carpenter? What's his name? Jamie. Is it Tool Addicted Carpenter? I think it is, man. Go check him out because he's got some really good content, and he's a craftsman. Like he's not just like, he's like the definition of a craftsman. He does all the trim work and all the molding and all the stuff and matches the molding to existing buildings, and the dude really knows his stuff. He can tell you exactly why this is shaped this way and what blade to use for what and all that stuff. I might even link his channel in the description below. That dude's pretty legit. There's a lot of people on YouTube that aren't so legit. I said Morgan Maintenance here. He's legit. Brandon with Impact Nation, that dude's legit. Actually doing the work out there. And that other guy, the Tool Addicted Carpenter, man, that guy's also very legit. So go check all those guys out. Tools and Souls in the house here somewhere. So quiet you can use it at midnight. Too legit. So this is, let's see here. This is my surge. You'll notice something different about my surge though. The collet doesn't hold because the freaking spring fell out of it for like no reason. So I don't know, man. I've got the worst luck with Milwaukee I think I've ever seen. We can see how quiet this is though. I've got a battery here somewhere. And then I got a pouch here I want Morgan to see. That Morgan's maintenance is there. I got a pouch for him to see that he might like. And if I go to my local supply house and I find one, I'll send you one, dude. If you want one of these. It's called a Pro Lock right here. And it's got a speed square slot in the back. And it's got your bit storage. It's got your bit storage right here. It's got more pockets on the side, on the inside. And then it's got a nice pouch here. I've got the adapters for the installation driver here. This thing doesn't get near the amount of use I thought I was going to get out of it. So, then you got your hammer loop. I don't think a framer is going to practically use this, but this would be pretty cool for someone that's just kind of doing whatever. Got the kickstand there, and then it snaps on just like a tough build pouch. And that's called the Pro Lock. We'll look it up. So what supply house did you get it? It's called Lock Supply, L-O-C-K-E Supply. They're kind of hard to find this stuff. So if you can't find one, you want one, let me know. I'll send you one. Nice looking tool bag. That one could hold some snacks. Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, I like it because it's got the speed square slot. I'm kind of a sucker for speed square slots. The DeWalt one's kind of nice too. Honestly, this DeWalt one here. Let me go get it. Went the wrong way. I said to dump a whole bunch of tools out of it. This one from DeWalt is pretty legit, man. See, even your typical slots, like they just don't fit as good as that Pro Lock one does. But I like the smaller speed squares anyway, honestly. I've been using the smaller speed squares a lot. So this DeWalt one is really nice. You get it at Lowe's. And then you can take this pouch here specifically. Plays really, really well with this DeWalt. It's almost like a pocket kind of stuffer that goes like right in there, like that. And then this even clips to the back side right here. So if we put this on, we got the gator back going. And then if you put it on, you got your tape measure right there. And then you got all those tools right here. And then you got a material pouch. And you put your roto split there. And you're good to go. That's a lot of tools. Not really, man. This actually doesn't weigh that much. This is probably the bare minimum. You could probably ditch. You're probably going to be carrying more than this, really, on your hip at all times in a standard tool pouch. This here is just as heavy as this. I got a scale to prove it. That is 6 pounds. 6 pounds, 8.4 ounces. I'm also holding up on this, by the way. 6 pounds. See, I'm letting go of it. It's actually heavier than 6 pounds. It just looks like a lot of tools because this thing has a pocket for everything. But this kind of has the best layout that you're probably going to find in a tool pouch, because you've got everything that you could possibly want here in one pouch. And something that I started doing recently is this one here. I'm fixing to go to Home Depot and find this out. When it says 8-in-1 HVAC and you go to the plumbing section, I think it actually has slide drive. So I'm a huge fan of any kind of multi-tool that doesn't have a whole lot of pieces. Gucci, Prada, Coach, or Louis for my tool purses. Probably get the Gucci one. Those are so bad. Get a 1/4-inch ratchet. This locks up here, so it depends on what you're doing. 5/16 right there in the natural state, and then you've got a 10-in-1 for your most common sizes here. I get hungry. I get some snacks. It really changes game up when walking around with a bowl of popcorn on his lap everywhere. I'm a mechanic. What do you do, electrician? Yeah, I'm an electrical inspector now since 2017. But I started trade school being an electrician in 2007, and then towards the beginning of 2018, when I started doing electrical inspections. So I worked for just under 10 years in the same company, industrial, infrared, and heavy commercial. Thanks for the advice and tool tips. New low voltage security system guy here. Nice. You got all the fun tools. Awesome. Can you inspect the Tesla for me? Yes. Yes, I can. Is it a Tesla car or a Tesla battery? Because I do a lot of inspections on the solar. I do a lot of inspections on the batteries, the ATSs, all that stuff. Yeah, it just depends on which one it is. This is actually from a Tesla gateway. This is the bonding jumper. Nice, you'll see me tomorrow. This is the bonding jumper inside of a Tesla that isolates the grounds and neutrals. You caught that from Bar Makita Tools? Dang. Are Klein drills just rebranded DeWalt? I believe they are. Those impacts and stuff. But they're not even the good DeWalts, man. The good DeWalts, DeWalt has, and then they'll rebrand the mid stuff. Morgan's Maintenance went to school to be a male dancer but wasn't making any money, so you focus into hard labor. Dang. Yeah, he saw the ad. It said free Viagra for those willing to work hard. We got some DeWalt impacts at the workshop. I swear they're good as the snappy ones. I'd agree with that too. People testing them, I'm not buying them. I can do the helicopter too. Nice. Now that Tesla's gonna catch fire. Maybe. I made a fortune with people paying me to keep my clothes on. So let's look at a couple of let's get this off. Gotta find my beat up phone here. Let's see. Let's look at a couple of practice questions here for an exam. Let's see. Oh, we're already logged in. Okay. So we need to go to My Prep. And then Journeyman flashcards. Alright, first question. NEC mandates specific branch circuits, receptacles, outlets, and utilization equipment to be provided with a ground fault circuit interrupter when this device is intended. There's your question. It says when this device is intended. This device is intended to be readily accessible. I don't know. That's an open-ended question. We don't like that one. I'm gonna guess to be located outside or to be readily accessible. We're gonna go for readily accessible. For the protection of personnel. Okay, bad question. What's the maximum distance between the supports? What is the maximum distance between supports of straight runs of threaded size 2-inch rigid metal conduit RMC? So if we go here, man, look at that picture, dude. This phone is so much better. You're gonna go 2-inch. Okay. Dude, this phone is so much better than the last one. I'm so happy about this. We're gonna go with the 2020 code. I had a guy tell me that I know really well This guy does a lot of classes and stuff. And he said, man, I don't even know if I would do this live. Because what happens if you can't find the answer? And I was like, well then, wait, hang on. Hang on. There we go. I said, well, if I can't find the answer, then I can't find it, man. There's no shame in not knowing. I'm going to show you guys how to find stuff more efficiently in the code book. And that's why we're doing this. Hopefully we can help you out. If I look like an idiot, then so be it. But we're going to go here. We're going to say RMC here. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into the 330s of the code book. Because the 330s start the materials. I'm trying to leave this up so you guys can see it. What's up, Rodney? Okay. So as we flip through here in the 330s, we're going to see where we've got NMC. We've got the TC. We're looking for rigid conduit. There's IMC. I believe that rigid is in the beginning, though. I think. I know it's before EMT. So we're just going to... There's AC, FC, MI. We could go in the back of the book and find this, too. There's IMC. RMC, here's rigid here. Rigid metal conduit, RMC. And we're looking for supports. So the thing about supports is it's almost always a .30. And a .10 is usually reserved for uses permitted. See here where it says uses permitted? We're going to here 330 or 344.30 says securing and supporting. And if we follow this here, we're going to see where there's a chart here. And what the chart says we can do, if I can rotate this around. There we go. What the chart says is, this is size 2-inch rigid conduit. What's the maximum distance between supports of straight runs? And then this is the supports here. And this is the size. And it looks like we can go 16 feet. So let's see here. What's the maximum distance? So when we look at the minimum distance here, we can see here that the minimum not exceeding is 10 feet. And then it says the distance between for straight runs shall be permitted in accordance with this table here. So we went to this table and it should be 16 feet. Let's tap on it. Let's find out. You put that right there. 16 feet. We got it. Okay, driven ground rod or pipe electrode is required to be driven at a depth at least blank into the earth. We know it's 8 feet, but we want to know where to find it. It's talking about grounding. Let's go to Article 250. We're going to go to electrodes. We actually turned right to it because I've just been doing this for too long. But if I was to try to find it, we would want to find where it starts talking about electrodes. The answer is right here, by the way, being 8 feet in length. Right there. Rod and pipe. But if we were looking for this, we would want to find the grounding electrodes. So you see we got grounding connections. We got the bonding jumpers. We got a bunch of different things here. Then we talk about the grounding electrodes down here. And then it talks about what is a grounding electrode. And then all the way down here, rod and pipe. So it's 8 feet. What's up, Rodney? Absolutely, sir. I agree. $8 feet there. Next. IT equipment shall be permitted to be connected to a branch circuit by a listed power supply cord having a length not to exceed. Now, we found this last time. So, George Ordway, hard to believe it's been so long. 16 months, man. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the support. Ground electrodes should be at least 6 feet apart. That's correct, too. It says here that if you have resistance 25 ohms or less, you're going to drive a supplemental electrode right here. And then it gives you instructions for your supplemental electrode. And it says if multiple are driven, you're going to go 6 feet apart. Right there. Haven't heard of Caleb Roy. I'm a helper and I do this every day and was wondering why. Well, there you go. It's because the electrical inspectors are commies and they make you do extra because they just assume you're not going to get 25 ohms or less. So they make you drive a second one. What's up, Kansas? 1,000 bottles, yeah. All right, what's the next question here? Oh, IT technology. There's actually a spot for that in the code. We don't have the 23 book, but we're gonna look in the back here for information technology, IT. HI. And we're looking for information. So INF. Information technology equipment rooms. And it's going to be 645 right there. So if we go to 645. Until these pages are newer. I don't go here too often. 645 right here. You can see we're in information technology. And then I see here installation requirements for electrical supply cords up here. And the question is connected to a branch circuit by a listed power supply cord having a length not to exceed. So we're probably going to find it somewhere in here. Supply cords, installation requirements. We're looking for a length here. Let's go back here. Cables. I see 15 feet here. Here's power supply cords. Shall not exceed 15 feet. So if we look here, supply cords having a length, it's got to be connected to a listed supply cord. Power supply cords, yeah, 15 feet. Let's see. We got it. And there it is there. That's what's really good about test.com is that it tells you where to find the answer, which is really good. Next. Determine the maximum number of number 1 XHHW compact conductors in a trade size 3-inch rigid schedule 40 PVC more than 24 inches long. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. This is absolutely a journeyman's question. So we're going to show you how to do this right now. Most people don't know how to do this. This is a really good question. So we're going to leave this here. The first thing we got to do, we need to get our scratch paper. And we need to write down a couple of things. Here. So it's number 1. Oh, this is a good marker. It's number 1. It's XHHW there. It's going to be in 3-inch rigid. And it's rigid Schedule 4D PVC. And it's more than 24 inches. Now 24 inches, if it's less than 24 inches, we can go 60% fill. If it's more than 24, we go 40% fill. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out where the number 1 XHHW is in the code book. So we're going to go to chapter 9. Looking for the chapters. Here's the tables. Here's the beginning here. This is where you find out that if you got more than 2 conductors, you're at 40% fill. And this is where you find out that if you're less than 24 inches, you're at 60% fill. So we're more than 40. We're more than 24 inches, so we're going to be 40% fill. Next thing we're going to do, this is where we find out the size of our pipe. And then this is where we find the size of our conductor. So we know we need XHHW, number 1. And we're going to just kind of flip through here till we find XHHW, which is right here. I'm going to move this camera over. There's XHHW. And a number 1 is actually over here now. Remember the inches squared there, and we're 0.1534. Okay, so somebody do the math here and tell me this, because I don't have a calculator. 0.1534 is the number 1, okay? We need to fit this into this pipe. Rigid PVC. We need Schedule 40 rigid PVC, which is right here. And it's going to be in 3-inch, which is right there. And it is a 3.852. How many of this number goes into... Wait, don't look at that number. We need 40% fill. Hang on. 2.907. 2.907. Right there, 40%. 2.907. Someone got the math on that? How many times can we fit that number into that number? I'll give my phone on me. You guys talking about baby oil is really going to make YouTube going to want to watch this one. I got to tell you. Let's see here. It's 2. 2.907. 0.01534. Looks like we can fit 18. Yeah. So the question is the answer 18? Let's see. What do you guys think? 18? 21 of them. I don't know why. 2.91534. 40% fill. There's 3-inch there. There's Schedule 40 rigid PVC. Let's see here. XXHW. Number 1. 0.534. Three-inch, 0.907. I don't know. Don't know. Let's see here. Direct barrel conductors emerging from grade shall be protected by raceways or covers up to at least blank above finished grade. We can go to wiring methods for this in Article 300. We're going to go 300.5 though, because that's where it talks about underground. And that's the table. And then we're going to find protection from grade right here. And the question is, direct burial emerging from grade shall be protected by raceways. So emerging from grade, direct burial conductors. And it looks like it's going to be 8 feet above the finished grade. And then 18 inches below the finished grade. So 8 feet. Do they make a AI program to answer these questions yet? No. Actually, they do. They do make an AI. It's just ChatGPT. You can ask ChatGPT all of this stuff. Do you need to get an NFPA? Yeah. Ha! You're not an electrician, but you just say the Holiday Inn, man, that's all you need. You're golden. So let's look at something that we ran into the other day. This is what we ran into the other day. We had the meter. And we had 2 pipes going to our main breaker here. That was 400 amps. And we had a ground bar here. Now inside of here, the wire was 2-aught that fed this. Sorry, it was 3-aught. Sorry, it was 2 sets of 3-aught. So we had two times 3-aught, and they ran a number 2 for the bonding bushing. And they ran a number 3. They ran a number 4 actually for the EGC. So when they came up here to bond these bushings here, they ran number 2. And it was kind of funny because he didn't know why. And I'm going to show you where you get this from. I'm going to show you where you get this number from. I'm going to show you where you get this number from. So first up, the two 3/0s, if we want to cross-check this, is going to be in 310.16 right here. And what we see here is a 3/0 and 75 degrees C, which is what your termination's rated for. This is going to get you 200 amps each. So that's going to be 2 times 200 is 400 amps. So this one gets a check mark because I did good there. Not very good check mark there. Whatever. That one's good. Then we looked at the number 2 bonding. Now something's going on here. We have one wire that attaches to both of these pipes. So we're going to take this 2/0 and count it as one wire. And this is how you do that. We'll see you later, Kansas. If you want to take the 2/0 and count it as one wire, we got to combine it. So we're going to look at how we're going to size it. And a lot of people will go here. They're going to see here that they got 3/0. Two or 3/0 here. And they're going to say a number 4, but we got 2 sets of 3/0. Yeah, needs some new expos. We have 2 sets of 3/0, not just one set. So we can't use this. This is what you do. You go to Chapter 9, Table 8 in Conductor Properties. One more. Table 8 right here, Conductor Properties. And we're going to go down here and we see the 1 3/0, if we got to convert this to KC mil, is 167800. I don't even know if the apps tell you this, Charlton. This is not an extremely advanced calculation, but it's not something very common. 167800 right here is going to be the number that we need. 167800, and we got to multiply that by 2 because we have 2 3/0. So if we take our calculator here and we go 167800 times 2, we get 335. Now we took the aught and we converted it to KC mil here. So we have 335 KC mil. When we go back here to this table, we're going to see here that they were asking about the KC mil size. Right here. And this is the main bonding jumpers. It's essentially the same thing in 250.66. This would be how you size your electrode. This would be how you size your jumper. It's pretty much the same thing. We're going to see here that we have over 3/0 through 350. Because we're 335 KC mil. We're almost 350 KC mil right there. So you see it's a number 2 for the jumper. Yeah, hired, Josh. I'm gonna go sit in the truck and YouTube it. Hired. Number 2 bonding. That's good. Now, what about the number 4 equipment ground conductor for this 400 amp service? So we're gonna run to a sub panel. This is the easiest one because this one, you just look at the amperage and you can determine what size it needs to be. If we're 400 amps, you slide over and you see it's a number 3 copper. Right there. So you can see here where that was a costly mistake. They had to pull this wire out. It's 400 foot long. So this has to be a number 3 for 400 amps. He should have Googled it. Yeah. Yeah, Google it. Ask ChatGPT. Just do this quick. Yeah. So that actually happened the other day. That dude had to pull all that wire out. That was 400 foot times 2. But he had 2 disconnects, so it was actually 1,200 feet of cable that he had to pull out and throw away, and then re-pull back in the number 3 ground. Call the boss if you don't have the manual. Yeah. If I was YouTube, I was on YouTube. I was YouTube mini excavator problem second day. Oh, you went to YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what you do, man. 1,800, go home. Yeah. Copper scrap? I guess so, man. They probably had to use it on another job. All I know is that number 4 ain't good for 400 amps. I'm still confused on that. Me too, man. I don't know. It said 21. I disagree. I would say 18. And if you want to round up, go 19. I don't know how they got that one. Where is it here? It's not even in my history. It's not even in my history. Huh. Not even in the history. Look, it goes from September the 12th. And then it just jumps to the 17th. It's not even the freaking 17th today. So it's just like non-existent. Perfect. Just pretend it didn't happen. I don't know. I don't know that question either. We tried. You're going to the electrician trade next year. Whoa, a lot of chat coming in. I have an app that does it. It says 18 as well. I know. I don't trust that question. I don't trust that question. I think we had that one right. It's going to be great. Yeah, dude. The biggest thing, dude, is just try to be one step ahead of whoever you're helping and figure out what they're going to need before they need it. Just pay attention and figure out what the next steps are. Because a lot of it's the same thing, just in a different location. So if you see that they've got the STS drill, you know a Tapcon's coming next. You know a 5/16 is coming next. You know you're gonna need pipe straps. Just have all the things you're gonna need right then and there. You're gonna have fun. If you like math. Do you have Caleb Ross' number? I don't have Caleb's number. Be a marriage counselor. Can you get more and save your back? You found the prologue at Menards. Nice, dude. I think those are them. So, let's see here. Yeah, I think those are the master force. If you already know the basics of electrical, then you should breeze. Just learn the code and the finer details. Yeah, that's true. The code is a lot of it, man. There's a lot of people that'll pull inspections, pull permits. get these inspections, and the fundamentals is kind of out the window right now. I see a lot of professional contractors with licenses and stuff that don't know the basics. The basics of how a circuit works, the basics of how and why you want to ground. Um, the whole premise of the live tonight was to show you guys where you want to put the bonding screw, and we're gonna do that now. So when we look at this, bar here, this bar has a lot of power to put current where we don't want it. So if we are the service, you want to bond your grounds and neutrals together at the source. If you're not the service, you don't want to bond your grounds and neutrals. When you run to sub panels, you want to pull an equipment ground. The equipment ground is what's going to get the current back to the neutral in the event of a fault current or a ground fault. There's just really simple stuff, man. That kind of scares me. I get when you don't put a sealing lock ring, or you forgot a bonding bushing, or something like less common, but when you're not pulling equipment grounds to sub panels and you're not isolating grounds and neutrals in sub panels, it gets me kind of worried for what's to come the longer that this goes on, as more older experienced people get out of the trades. And the longer that I do inspections for, I think that maybe some people just didn't know to begin with. I think a lot of inspectors probably didn't know what they were looking at for the most part. There's a lot more information now, and there's a lot more networking between people and information sharing than there's ever been. And I think a lot of stuff was probably passed, and the inspector probably was too afraid to admit that he didn't know, or it's what he saw, so he just passed it from what he's used to, seeing. But there's definitely a disconnect on what's a good install versus, what's dangerous. Good beard. I'm trying to grow it out, man. It's kind of, it gets long here, and then you don't want to cut it, because if you cut this side, then this side gets long, and then you should have just waited because it would have gotten full. It's hard to grow this thing and keep it looking tidy, I'll tell you that. I don't know much, but I think I'm really mechanically inclined to I made a homemade framing setup to practice. Nice. I just saw a guy yesterday with a ladder leaned up against power lines. Hey, you can't get shocked if you're not grounded. Do you ever use math for series and parallels? I have yet to use them realistically, and I've only learned them in class. My teacher hasn't even used them in his whole career. Let me think, have I ever used series and parallels? You'll use them if you do solar and you're attaching like strings together. But in general, no. I know what you're talking about, though. You're talking about the reciprocals, aren't you? And you're having to do the numerator like 4 times down below and flip the fraction and to get the dude, screw that, man. That was my first class that I ever did for electrical. And I knew I wanted to be an electrician. I just didn't know like that I could go to any company and say, hey, will you hire me? So I went to college for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, and I started taking a lot of the electrical classes. And they called that class Basic Electricity. But what it used to be called was Electrical Theory and Principles, but they changed the name 1 year before I got there. And dude, there was nothing basic about that freaking electrical class. It kicked my ass. I was not good at math back then. I got into the trades because I was bad at math and I was bad academically. I've got slight trouble retaining information. Like I've got learning disabilities. I've got ADHD. and I've got total recall memory, which really helps a lot. But like names, faces, things like that that I just learned is really, really hard for me to remember at all. Tools with Souls still says Souls in my phone because I didn't know his name was Robert, which is my name, by the way. So I couldn't remember the dude's name that has my own name for like a year. I just called him Souls. So retaining information is not something that I'm good with, but photographically in the code book, I know it like the back of my hand. What do you know about Class 1, Division 1? What do you want to know about Class 1, Division 1? Hang on. Hang on. Location, switches, circuit breakers, motor controllers, and fuses included in push buttons, relays, similar devices shall be provided with enclosures. Nope. Hang on a second. Class 1, Division 1. Let me go one more page for it. There we go. Let me find the beginning of it. Let me go to the beginning of this. One more page. There we go. Okay. Class 1, Division 1, location in ignitable concentrations of flammable gases. Flammable liquid produced vapors or combustible liquid produced vapors can exist under normal operation conditions, in which ignitable concentrations of such flammable gases produce vapors or combustible liquids above the flash points may exist frequently because of repair or maintenance operations or because of leakage. 3, in which breakdown or faulty operation of equipment. So you've got 3 different situations there. Class 1 is going to be flammable gases, flammable liquid produced vapors, or combustible liquid produced vapors may be present in the air. And then your divisions is going to be whether or not there's a malfunction or not. So a Class 1 would be normal operation conditions. A Class 2 is going to be in case of accidental rupture or breakdown. So you got Class 1, Division 1, you got Class 1, Division 2. Division 2 is accidental breakdown or accidental rupture. Class 1, Division 1 is going to be normal operation. Then you got Class 2, which is dust. And all kinds of stuff, man. It's all here in the code. That's the good thing about the code. You don't have to know everything. You just got to know where to find it. If you got a wood shop and you got flying dust, you might have a class of location that you didn't know about. So, some of your dust collection equipment can cause static electricity. And if you've got the right, mixture of air to static with flying fibers, you can have yourself a fire pretty quick. Thanks for pushing my question. That generally confusing math is easy once you learn it, but it's so useless. The solar. Let me see here. Yeah, moisture can help make static too. How many flex tools do you have right now? Trying to catch up with the chat. All right, stop. I'm truly amazed on what is allowed and what is not during inspections. We work in 6 different counties, and every inspector has a different. Yeah, exactly. Remember to change the chat to live. Thank you, sir. I did that just now. What's up?
Oh, are you gonna get off soon?
Yeah, pretty soon.
Can I play Minecraft whenever you do?
Maybe. Does the code now have a solar section? Yeah, 690 is a solar section. 680 is pool, 690 is solar. Okay, I think I caught back up. High voltage energy is made. Wireman and limited energy is low voltage communication. Is inside. High voltage energy is inside wireman and limited voltage. Yeah. Some inspectors don't even come by and write it off as good. Some inspectors don't even get out of the car, man. They just hand you a freaking tag. Do you do low voltage inspections also like fire alarms? No. No, I don't inspect fire alarms. We're a fire department for that. I'm seeing new flex at Lowe's. The flex tools that I've got is the reset, the drill, the impact, the vacuum, the grinder, the inline saw, the fan, using the fan right now, and I think that's it, man. I'm really low on flex tools right now. I throw them all the freak away. Throw all my flex tools away. Mold contaminated all my tools. I throw them all away. The warranty system, I've had them fixed. Yeah, dude, the warranty is show you the belly button. I don't think you want to see my belly button, bro. The white piece in the nozzle. Yeah, man, Flex's warranty is really, really good. Probably one of the best. I've called them. You do. I got an Audi, man. You don't want to see my belly button. I got an Audi. Gotta hide that shit. This is a fellow DeWalt brother. I know it's a fun fact. DeWalt works in space. That's pretty cool. DeWalt's killing it, man, lately with all of their newer tools, man. This drill here is crazy. This thing is crazy. The 1007, and then you throw a power stack on it. This thing's awesome. 20 minutes of light. Pass the vibe check. Oh, crap. Damn, I was going to show you my belly button too, man. Good thing I don't have to. That's good. It's good that we got awkward real quick. Regardless, codes, the NEC is updated every 3 years. Each state makes amendments to their state code, city or county, per the updated code. Yeah, that's true. What you need, one of my favorite DeWalt tools is a 3-inch cutoff tool. Waiting for the Flex to make one. Belly buttons don't burn during cremation. That's pretty interesting fact there, buddy. My Makita drill with electronic clutch is superior to your tool? I don't think so. Have you tried getting the Flex battery converters? That way you can put a Flex stack into lithium on a DeWalt and compare it with the DeWalt stack lithium? Yes, I have. I've done that previously about 1.5 years ago, maybe 2 years now. I had all the different adapters. The Flex batteries run almost all the tools a lot better, obviously, because it's more voltage. They run them faster. They lose torque, and a lot of like the Milwaukee and the DeWalt stuff, they have the safeties on their tools that automatically limit the amount that you can push the tool, especially if you're using the wrong battery. And they don't work that good, but they work. 2.0 flex stuff is out, not just pictures. Bearded tool guy has it in his hand. Nice. That's gonna be a nice battery. They did the Makita side by side. They lose most battles. Yeah, man, the Makita stuff isn't that good. It's really not. You can get a lot more money. Oh, sorry, you can get a lot more tool for the same money buying just about any brand other than Makita right now. The fact that they came out with 40 volt Makita and it's not even good as 24 volt flex, and then they still continue to make better tools and more updated tools for their 18 volt line and not change the 18 volt battery at all and not add new technology into it, just tells you the state of Makita. Parlam Systems, that'd be a great job for young guys if they can make it. Dude, any trade for young guys, it's kind of what our generation needs, man. You know, they say, I guess I'll claim this generation. I don't like to, because I don't have the same work ethic or mentality. But a lot of this generation's problem is like the woe is me kind of movement. And, you know, there's not very much grit nowadays with a lot of people my age. And when you do a trade, man, you get a lot of that stuff. You get the grit, you get the go get it attitude, you've got the I don't even know what you want to call it, man. It's almost like it's a fitness about your mental state of just doing something you don't want to do because it sucks, but you're still doing it anyway. It's a big character builder, man. And I hear a lot of people my age talking about how depressed they are and how they don't have a sense of worth and they don't know what to do. And the trades, man, is one of the best things you can do, especially if you're young and able to get ahead of almost anybody your age. You're immediately going to jump into the workforce and you're going to start learning something. You're going to see production and you're going to get to be a part of that production. You can look back and say, hey, I built that. And you can see the results like real time as you're doing it. Really, really rewarding career, man. Your buddies might pass you 8-10 years later once they get out of college. But statistically, man, everything's only getting more expensive. So I bought my first house for $70,000. One of my buddies that now is a professor, he bought his first house for like almost $400,000. There's a lot of worth to just hitting the ground running and making your money. The determination, all this stuff, man, it's so good for you. It's just whenever I'd do a pipe run because I always prided myself in just the neatness and the planning and this pipe run. You know, you got several runs of pipe on a rack here. I lost my Sharpie. You got several runs of pipe on a rack like this. And there's a wall here and you got a plug coming up here. Well, you don't want this pipe for your power to need to land over here. You need this pipe too. So you have to plan your run. If not, you're crossing conduit. You don't want to cross conduit. So when you're running your racks, you really want to know, you want to plan how everything's want to go. You don't want this pipe to cross this pipe ever. So when you look up and you see that The electricians planned everything out. Maybe you had another one to go straight. 2 returning here. This one turned before. That's not an accident, man. Somebody planned that to run that way. When you're dropping off conduits, you get a little bit of loss with that when you run MC. It's kind of cheating now. Would you have to apply for the 70,000? How did you save it? Well, you don't save it. You do it with payments. So back in 2011, 2011. Got married in 2010. So 2007, started going to school. I was still living with my parents. 2008, still living with my parents, still going to school. Met my wife before I even started school. So met my wife in 2004, I think. 2000. Let me get myself in trouble. We've been together forever. So when we were 16, so I'm 36 now. So 20 years. Been with my wife for 20 years. Lived with my parents until 2010. So I think I was 21 when I got married. Bought my house by 22. So 22 years old, I bought my first house. And if you're a first-time home buyer, FHA loans, you only got to put like minimal down, man. It's like 5% or something. It's like $4,000 or something down. And then my payments were $400 a month. And then your insurance and everything else, the taxes and your property tax and everything came to about $650 a month. VA band was kind to me. VA loan. Sorry, I didn't say band. Loan. Can't see. Makita was the best at one time about 20 years ago. Yeah, man. I started off with Makita. Makita is still good, man. I would love to have an XCD16. I still think Makita's good. It's just not as good as other options. But it's still decent. You look at what we're doing with Makita 20 years ago, roughly, and it wasn't even brushed. And it was capable of replacing corded tools. And now we've got brushless tools. How can it not be better? You know, Makita is absolutely viable. Yeah, I could say brushless. What's up, Russ? What's going on, buddy? The XCD20. I want it. I want to go get one. Thank God the people in North Carolina got paid the $750. Yeah, exactly, Paul W. So yeah, man, you if you're a young dude and your body's still able. Now this is where I messed up, okay? This is where I messed up. I underestimated how easily you can break your body because I thought I was invincible. It says please read this, and I can't read it. I tried, buddy. Sorry. I underestimated how easy it is to break your body. So I was dead wrong on that. I used to make fun of people older than me. Say, hey man, come on, gotta move on, do more, carry more, go faster. You know, I've been talking crap to other people. Man, this guy's so slow. Run circles around this dude. It's different because they didn't really have a sense of urgency, you know, like they just didn't care about their work. So there were some people like that, but I didn't understand how much slower you got to be. We need to build our mind. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Are you coming?
Yeah. Can you bring me a drink?
Ginger beer?
No. Yes.
Yeah.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a can or in a bottle?
Get the can and get the green bottle of rum.
The what?
The green bottle of rum.
Okay.
I don't know, Sharush. Sharush is over there. Did TTC do a test? I don't know. Thanks. Ginger beer?
I'm getting it.
Alright, so if you guys don't know, this is where I'm from. We got Sharush. We got all different nationalities in here. This is where I'm from. Bermuda. If you didn't know. I'm from the islands. So what you do, you take your Gosling's ginger beer right here. Okay. Pop that open. And you just pour it straight in. Just like that. And what you just made is what you call a dark and stormy in Bermuda. So we got a dark and stormy here now. Cheers, guys.
But so you coming?
Savagery? Yeah. I'm coming.
Okay.
You just can't tell.
Like 10 minutes?
Like maybe 5.5.
You say that and then it takes like 20 minutes.
Just count to like 600 seconds and I'll be there.
No.
Okay. The GDTO2 has some amazing tech in it. I like that ginger beer and rum. Yeah, yes sir. How dare you not have Captain Morgan? I have some Captain Morgan in there. But that particular rum, man, goes really good with this. Hit the like button, absolutely. Remember folks, it's easy to be under the influence of a thought more than a reality. We're guilty of it because we have believed in Santa at some point. That's great. That's true, man. You gotta constantly check your own truths, man. You gotta stay humble, be open to different ideas. Things are always changing. At some point, you're gonna be wrong. At some point, something's gonna change, and what you thought you knew is not gonna be the case anymore. They move around this damn book so many times. They change different tool brands, different things come out. You get stuck with what you know. And what's up, Hunter? What's going on, buddy? You get stuck with what you know, and then something changes, and you're just kind of set in your ways. I'm like that when it comes to technology. I hate emails. I hate texting. Somebody emailed me today and left me a voicemail. I forgot to check it. I gave him my cell phone number. He's got my city cell phone number. He could have called me. But no, he emailed me. I forgot to reach out to him. Sun 12 volt Milwaukee to the tool line? Yes, yes sir. One thing I'd say, I was expecting excited for the Makita 40 volt to destroy the 24 volt flex. Drink alcohol is not good. I think you're right. Let's speak in English and respect our host. No worries, man. Shrews, you're more than welcome here at all times, dude. So, long time. Let's see, what's up, comment Z? Comment Z? What's up? It has been a minute. I love emails, but also still like the person-to-person communication. The thing with, my wife does this. She'll text, and she'll text, and she'll text. And you don't get the pauses, you don't get the inflection, you don't get the tone, you don't get half of what the message that you're trying to get conveyed to you. What's up, nobody? That's a good way to get hidden from the channel, buddy. I rely on texting emails all day long at work. I don't like the phone much, talk too much, and it wastes hours. It can. It depends on what you're doing. I still prefer talking. I don't think the Makita line is designed to get the biggest balance between power, durability, and runtime. Maybe. I feel like the Makita is just there to... People are going to buy it because they know the name. I don't really know what they're trying to do anymore. Just say that Bosch was buying Johnson Controls, another American company, gone. Is Johnson Controls still around or no? We're gonna sway souls like Makita? Probably not. You get it with throw your phone in a river. I'm almost there. Like cursive writing was a species losing personal contact. Yeah, man, we've lost a lot of the... I don't like my apprentices on the phone during work hours. I don't even hardly ever have my phone on me when I'm doing inspections. Sometimes I see something that I want to take a picture of or something. Don't have my phone. Leave it in the car. Johnson Controls owns York and a bunch of companies. Are they gone? Yeah, Johnson Controls was huge. They used to do most of... Bosch is buying them. Wow. Had no idea. One of my first jobs, we were doing 174 dock levelers, and they were out there installing all the dock levelers and the controls and all that stuff. I would say that, but only the reason I say from personal experience, I've had to put away the machines I drilled because it got stuck, grabbed another. Saw several applications of high torque. Yeah. Johnson Controls has offered you an electrical position. Nice. I guess we better get off of here. There's one thing I was going to leave you guys with, and it's this bit. Hang on. Of course I lock it. This is the thought. This is the thought on the Klein stuff. The pass-through ratchets. Do you need the pass-through ratchets from Klein? That's the big question. This is your answer. When you're building a strut rack and you've got a nut on the top and a nut on the bottom, for the most part, you can spin that nut by hand all the way up the all thread. And then you can get a longer, deeper socket like this Klein. Put on your impact, do one bump, and it's set. When we look at this guy here, this does everything you want it to do. It's hollow, and you can also run it all the way up the all thread. Milwaukee just made a tool called the Insider, no pun intended. And as long as that thing exists, why are you going to spend $100 on a pass-through set when you could just buy the Milwaukee? This is the peak autism, probably. How'd you know? Is it the Insider? Yeah, I think it's called the Insider, isn't it? Run it all the way up the all thread, yeah. So what I did, one of my last huge industrial jobs, we were doing slick rod, which is stainless steel all thread, pretty much, or it's galvanized, and it doesn't have any threads on it until you thread it yourself. And you couldn't have more than this much exposed thread at any point. So if you're putting it up in the angle iron, you had to know how deep the thread was going to protrude through the iron, and before you sandwiched all your nuts and the washers and everything together. And then you had to know how long your angle iron below, because you couldn't use strut at this job. You had to use angle iron because it was flat and it was able to be washed down. And we had to drill that, and we had a drill press on site and all kinds of stuff. And you had to know all your measurements. It wasn't just like all thread, but you could just say, it's threaded, I'm going to cut it here, throw it up there, and if I need to, I can cut it shorter. That was not an option. You had to know the exact proper height of this stuff. And if the building was angling like this, you had to account for how much thread you're going to need on this side by the time you got 20 more feet away. So everything had to be like perfectly lined up and matched. And it was spec'd to use nylon lock washers and lock nuts. So the actual nuts had nylon in them, and you could not spin those by hand. So most of your life was using one of these, because you literally had to put your tool on every piece of hardware where you could not spin these with your fingers. And I've used these probably more than a mechanic has ever used a wrench, just sitting there, maybe for 3 hours out of the day, just tightening stuff and loosening stuff. And if you forgot to add a pipe, you have to lower the rack, spin the pipe because it's rigid, lower the rack, spin it, raise the rack, spin it, lower the rack, spin it, raise the rack, spin it, especially if it was an offset or something, where most of your day was spent just tightening nuts. The Klein stuff is kind of gimmicky when you can buy one of these that has protrusions just like a socket for $30. Klein already makes something like this, and this is what you should buy. I had a longer one previously. I bought the shorter one because I'm just not in it like I was anymore. But they have the longer one too. I don't think we need any of that Klein Connect stuff. I think it's kind of cringy when I see it, man. I just think of all the extra pieces that we don't need, that we're not going to use. More pieces to lose, more pieces to carry. Any industrial setting, no matter what you're doing, you need this and a 9/16 open wrench. And every once in a while, you might wind up with a beam clamp that's facing up above the corrugated. So if the roof is doing this, sometimes the roof will do this with the corrugated metal, right? And then you'll be running a rack really close up here, and the angle iron might be running this way, like this. So you took your beam clamp and you're able to clamp a beam up here somewhere, and that bolt is facing up. You might need a pivotable 9/16 where the box end is able to angle and flex. But for the most part, as long as I've been doing electrical, man, you just don't need this stuff. And if you really want to get fancy, this thing also locks in there. So there you guys go. That's my thought on the Klein stuff. That's why I made that video. I was walking through Lowe's and I was looking at like $400 of Klein Connect stuff, and I was just like, man, I hope Joshua Wilson isn't buying any of this stuff. Some stuff is okay, but for the most part, you just flat out do not need it. What do you need? Any Knipex seals around? I don't think so. I don't think so. Hey, we're gonna get off here. Yeah, we're about to get out of here, Juan. Hey, appreciate you guys. Thanks for all the support. We'll see you guys later.